Yo, what's going on, my friends? I have returned from the face-to-face MTG convention weekend. Originally, I was going to have this stream yesterday to talk to you guys about the event, but I was too wiped out. I have to admit, I'm still tired. Like, yo, my birthday's in like 3 days and I'm like middle aged now. So apparently bouncing back takes a bit more. Got to get up early for all this, and it was fun, but it took more energy than I thought it was going to. All the traveling and oh yeah, I guess you know what? Let's take that. I'm retracting that. Forget it. It doesn't have anything to do with my age. We'll get into all that. I'm gonna launch right off into whatever if I don't think about it. So let me just grab the live stream link first. This time, this is the closest I've gotten in a while to just going off on a big old tirade without sharing the live stream link. All right, so yeah, totally. I wanted to come and hang out yesterday, but I was just, by the time the stream came around, I was like, it's sleeping time for me. I'm done. I am done. You wouldn't have got anything useful out of me. Okay, there we go. Perfection. That's awesome. That's good. Let's switch that up. I got a nice hot Earl Grey tea. Let's have a sip of that. There we go. Okay, so now that that's done, let's do our hellos and have us some talkings. I've missed hanging out with you guys. All right. What's up? Gossett, Clayton, Jess, Goddard, Eng, Yamagoro, Clayton, Gianna, Kentucky, Al, Teferi. Who else we got in here? Millmaster, Garley, Potts, Derek, Seth, Pierce. Who else? Doomblade. Who else? Surly, Shelton, Skriznak. I'm sure I just messed that up, but whatever. Who else we got? Juglum. Casual Towns. Felonious Tea. Carly. What else do we got here? Devo. Yeah, Carly did catch me napping yesterday. Tom D. Tim. Joe. Matthew. What's up? What's going on? I believe that's everybody. So hello to everybody. If I missed anybody, hello to you. Hello to all the lurkadurkers. All right. And I guess hello to anybody watching the stream after the fact on the Hatcher stream channel. So that's all. Now everybody's been helloified. Doomblade membership message says, I pulled a full art Polyraptor. It feels like paper. The Time Wipe Hollow for Doctor Who is perfection, but this new Ixalan set is trash. This new Ixalan set has the worst card quality that I've seen in years. It's like, we've had bad card quality for a while, but Ixalan is like, yo, I want to be a standout. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens going on from here, right? Seth, you're happy to hear, or excited, I should say. Excited to hear about the convention. Well, I've got a bunch of fun details. I have fun notes. I have unexpected notes, stuff that you would never expect to happen. I wrote a song about Dan-Dans. Well, a little more. We'll get into it. You know what? I shouldn't get ahead of myself, but I made notes for the trip. I also I'm working on like making a vlog, and I forget to make, I haven't made vlogs yet. So I forget to get background footage and record stuff. I have a bunch of different, I had a bunch of different ideas. I recorded like nothing. Carly went around and did a bunch of background recording. So I'm just going to have to cobble together whatever from her. But I realized like I should have taken particular recordings to really illustrate parts of what I'm going to talk about. Bolt Valgue, you can watch a stream later. Well, thanks for the welcome back. Missed you too, buddy. You get on up out of here. The stream will be available for you later, bro. Was there free water? There was free water. there was free water. I went guy incognito. So let's talk about the situation surrounding this. My buddy, Double Strike Daddy, Double Strike Dude, whatever you want to call him, the inventor of Double Strike. So basically, like, you guys remember roughly like a year ago, I was going to go to the MTG summit, right? Well, I couldn't go. Double Strike went in my place. Like, he's Double Strike Dude. It's double D. I'm gonna call him DS. That's it. That'll be the short form. So yeah, anyways, DS went to the summit, and he had a good time meeting people, whatever, and he decided that he wanted to do more of this. So he contacted face-to-face games on his own and was like, yo, I was thinking about just coming up to your event. Can I like be like an official part of the event? And they said, yeah, absolutely. So he's like, yo, I'm going up. I got a hotel room. You want to come with? And I said, sure. I mean, I'm going to Toronto at the end of the month for my birthday. And I already told him, I'm like, that ate up all my funds. I don't have traveling money, none of it, bro. So he's like, it's all good, man. I'm already going and I already got a room. It literally has 2 beds. So you can just come along anyways. And so me and Carly and him all went, and I didn't know that when you watch like things on movies or TVs and you see like people like laying in bed and, you know, like the D trains rattling by and their house is shaking or whatever. Oh, the sitcoms or whatever where they're in like, I don't know, like a hotel by the airport and it's like really loud because planes are flying by every 3 minutes, right? Well, that I got to live that. We're outside and like we get out of the vehicle and right away it's like, and it was just like, that thing is like, it's so close. It's right there. Of like an airplane, right? And like, from the time we got into the vehicle to the time we got into like the front door of the place, there's multiple of them that have gone by. And it's just like, okay, well, like, and then we get inside and DS is like, yo, hey man, you know what? At least like they're loud outside, but they're not loud inside. And then one comes by and it's just like, like inside the hotel room. It was, I mean, the hotel itself wasn't too bad. It was weirdly hipsterish in some ways, but as far as accommodations go, that place was all right. But I want you to understand that I'm a light sleeper who's used to a different schedule. So this required me to get up earlier and sleep in, normally I sleep in a quiet environment that just has rain sounds playing. That's it. Just some rain sounds playing. That's it. Not airplanes. Not airplanes blasting through the sky. Also, I also got to find out what a CPAP machine sounds like the same night. I got to find out what it's like to have an airplane take off every 3 minutes right beside your bedroom and also have one of them CPAP breathing machines going off in the same room too. Well, on top of that, whoever made the hotel room thought it would be great to right beside the furnace have this gigantic green light that just bathes the, like, what are you doing? Why, like, this is a hotel room. Why would you make lights that just blast out? Why wouldn't you have a cover for this? Like a little plastic cover or something. Why? What? Why? So, yeah. It was challenging to sleep, which is part of the reason that I'm so wiped out. It's not that I'm a dinosaur. What up? Double Strike's in the house if you guys didn't know. Wayne right there, that's the boy I'm talking about. That's my boy Double Strike. He's the one that I went with. So, hold on, let me flip open my notebook. I got a page of notes about the event. So, I'm not going to throw things in particularly. I'm not giving it a specific timeline here because that's more for a vlog. So we might hop around timeline wise. That's when you sleep on the bathroom floor. Kensuke, now you're thinking. It sucked. Where did we stay at? We stayed at True. They have a fucking hipster logo where it's like a circle and it's got the word True on it, but it doesn't have an E on the end, and True's off to the side. So there's this obnoxious bit of space here, and the T's off to the side, and the roof has all these different grooves in it of different sizes, and they have all these pegs and stuff, and spiffy little sayings on like the bubble pillows. Don't kill yourself. Have some grapes. You know, you're like, I don't know. I honestly don't understand it, but I don't understand anything in this new world. So I just went, okay, all right, what does it matter? What does it matter what the place looks like? What does it matter? Like, what does it matter with the room I'm being tortured by airplane sounds? What does it matter what it looks like? I'm going to be bathed in light and awakened by airplane noises. So that's fun. All right. So on the top of my list, apparently, because I just wrote these down randomly, I have double strikes. Terrible choice of words, man. We're at the hotel. Okay? All right? Now, we got 2 key cards, right? You know the things that get you into your hotel room. So, I don't have one of those, right? Like, Carly's got one, Double Strike's got one, because it's fine. Me and Carly, like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter specifically who has them. But we walk out of the hotel room, and as soon as the door closes, fucking Double Strike goes, does anyone have a room key? And I'm just like, holy shit, are we locked out of our room? But he just meant, I have my room key. Do you guys have the other room key? Do you see the difference between those 2 phrases? Like, we just got there. All our crap's in this room. Like, hey, do you have your keys? Do you have your... Just... do you know what I mean? That's not the biggest thing, but it's just like, why would you do that? Why would he's not like, it's not like he did it to troll me. He's trying to be polite and he's trying to be helpful, but instead he's gonna give me a fucking aneurysm because I'm like, yo, we're already traveling. I just put all my stuff in this room and now we can't get to my stuff. What if I need my stuff? I don't like unexpected surprises on a trip. Like, oops, can't get into your hotel room. I already had unexpected problems the last time I went to a hotel. So I was hoping for a smooth ride this time. Luckily, it was just a very poor choice of words. So it wasn't a big deal. But anyways, what up, Ryan? How you doing? So, yeah, basically, Double Strike is like, yeah, do you want to come along? And I said, sure. And he didn't tell anybody that I was going. And I only mentioned it like in a live stream. I originally was going to mention in a video and then I went, nope. You know what? I'm going essentially guy incognito. So I'm not going to mention that I'm going at all. I'm going to hang out at his table. And it was fun. Like, he's sitting there. And I got to say that I liked this. When I first got there, he was sitting at the one corner table and they had already set up a sign for him, right? So literally he had like a sign. Like, I didn't realize that they were gonna like give him a sign and promos and stuff to give out, like, full on. They just welcomed into the event. It's like, bam, you're a part of it. You're one of the content creators. People are gonna battle against you. All this like it's the same sort of thing, which I genuinely liked. The way that they treated him made me happy. So he was given his own table, and I hung out at that table, right? I was just like, yo, I'm gonna hang out at this table. And some people knew who I was, and if they knew who I was, I couldn't fool them, and I would just give them a little bit of props. But it's funny because Double Strike pointed it out to me what was going on. He's like, people are being respectful. Like, you don't have a table, you haven't announced your presence, so people aren't coming up to you and like making a big deal. A lot of people aren't making a big deal about who you are. Some people, like, they were just subtly mentioning it, where, you know, it's like if I had a table set up, then they'd come up and be like, hey. And so it was a fun little like chill, I can be in the background kind of vibe, right? Honestly, when I went up there, I didn't realize that they were going to treat him so well. So I wanted to make sure that he had a good time, and I was going with him to make sure he had a good time. And just I've got his back, whatever. If it turns out, like, bro, let's say it goes up there and the event was like, sure, you can come up, but there's just some issue and he's just hating it and people aren't, like, he doesn't have a sign, people don't know nothing's going on. It's like, bro, it's gonna suck to be there alone. You're with me, we'll have a good time, I'll make you laugh, I promise you that, right? But instead, he had a sign at the one table the first day, which was hilarious because this judge dude comes up and he's like, hey guys, we're gonna need you to clear the table. And so Double Strike's like, actually, like, I'm supposed to be here? Hey, Ryan with the super chat says, I missed you. Oh, I missed you again. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for double missing me. You're Lord of the Board. So one of the guys who, and I'm not saying anything negative about the guy himself because they're all running around trying to do a million things, right? So I'm not like, oh my God, can you believe this? But at the same time, it did strike me as pretty funny when they walked up and like, we're going to need this table for open play. And he's like, I need to be here. I'm supposed to be here. And the judge still looks skeptical because Double Strike, like, he's too nice. So he didn't say it with the kind of authority of somebody who's supposed to be there. So the judge guy still looked a little hesitant. And I was like, bro, you see that giant thing right there? His picture's on it? The dude right here? Like, I literally pointed out, dude, he's on this thing right here, right? So then he looked and he's like, oh, you know? And the next day, instead of him being at the corner on whatever table, they had a side table set up for him. So I chilled with him at that table. And people would come up and they'd be like, yo, like, I know you. And I'd be like, do you watch like YouTube cooking channels? Because I have a YouTube cooking show, bro. And then other people, I'd be like, nah, son, I'm a nobody. I'm just here to leech off of this boy here's like celebrity. Can you believe it? I'm here with the inventor of Double Strike. I'm just some clownish nobody. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. Meanwhile, he's over there trying not to bust a gut as I'm saying this shit, right? Like, he thinks it's hilarious. Actually, he said to 8th place Dave, he's like, yo, I have 2 followers and my sidekick has like 55,000. So that was pretty good. Pretty good. Dominic, you're almost never able to get on for the live shows these days. Is that why I've been feeling better? I wondered why my spirit felt lighter overall. That's probably part of it. Thanks for clearing that up, bro. You know what I mean? It's like if a rash could come back and remind you that it wasn't around. Oh, oh, oh. So yeah, the whole experience, was like overall a lot of fun, but at the same time, it was like what am I trying to say here? It was like not a crisis of faith, but like an acceptance of the changed reality, because being at that event was in a way a bridge to from the old to the new for me. And it was kind of melancholy in the middle. I will admit, like in the middle of the event, there was some bits of melancholy for me when I was left to ruminate on my own thoughts. VT giving away free insults already. I give away free insults like you give away free butthole behind the fucking Arby's, bro. You don't need to buy a roast beef sandwich. My butthole is so used up it looks like roast beef and one of the hats on the sign. There you go. Free insult. You're welcome. Call your mama up and brag. Okay, so actually, it's funny. Somebody at the convention walked by and they were just squinting at me, right? Because they recognized me. They thought they did. And I'm like, the hell are you squinting at? I just started talking a whole bunch of shit to him, like a whole bunch of shit. And he loved it, obviously, because I'm very good at it. So it was a lot of fun. And actually, when I saw 8th place Dave, as soon as I saw him walk by, I went, oh my God, it's top 8 David. I love you, top 8 David. Dominic says, this really is the worst Lorcana channel I've seen. 0 out of 10 Mickeys. Yo, I'll show you a fucking fat Mickey, bro. All I need is a fucking minute alone with you in a dark room and I'll show you the fucking fattest Mickey. My fucking dick is so big, you can see it in the fucking dark. All right. Dominic, you're lord of the board, big boy. So, I'm Guy Incognito. That's what I said. That's what I said to Carly. I said, I'm Guy Incognito, right? And same thing I said to Double Strike. He did not tell the people at the event that I was going to be there. So I was Guy Incognito. Aside from the fact that, like, Tim, look, man, you're not fooling me. When you go, you should get that looked at, ... When I go, I have a giant dong. And you go, you should get that looked at. Obviously, you're offering to look at it. And I fucking know you in real life. I can see your fucking fat face when I read those fucking words, bro. I'm not going to show you my dick, Tim, okay? We've known each other for a long time. I hooked you up. I have hooked you up with things. And now you're going to come here and ask to see my fucking dick in front of our mutual friend Double Strike? Bro, I knew that this internet fame would lead me to weird fucking places. But, like, you had decades if you wanted to see it. You still would have said no. But you didn't have to do it fucking publicly, right? Just saying. Just saying. So, anyhow, I'm going as Guy Incognito. And I said to Carly, like, you know, I'm gonna lay low or whatever, right? That's the idea. I'm gonna lay low, and and so like that idea kind of went out the window when I didn't get in the front doors before somebody was like, yo, it's the Magic Story. What's up? Hey, can I get a picture? Hey, boys, come over here, get a picture with them. So like, I just like Carly was laughing. She's like, we literally just got here. We haven't even gotten in the doors. What up, Desolator? How's it going, buddy? But there was a whole bunch of people at the event who didn't mention that they knew who I was until like whatever random part of the interaction where they just made some referential comment to my content. I'm like, I had no idea that you knew who the hell I was, because I wasn't going around saying it to anybody, right? Like I kept it under my cap the whole time. Jug, you just put that song in my head, buddy. What up, Beasley? So yeah, I get noticed right away, which I mean, obviously it's fun too, right? So it's like, hey, what's up? You know, fucking get some pictures taken, that kind of stuff. So there were some people that I said hello to, but mostly I was low pro. I wasn't there to take shine from my boy. I was there to help him have a good time, and also to offer apparently social media fucking training to teach him fucking things, because good lord, he needs to work on the way he answers questions and stuff. I took issue with a number of the ways that he was presenting himself and helped him restructure into something that was more suitable for him, right? Because here's the thing about Double Strike. He's a classic underseller. I want you to know that before I came along, he never really mentioned it to anybody. He quietly was just like, I'm the guy who invented Double Strike. But long before I was the Magic Historian, when he came to events, I would go, yo, just so everybody knows, we literally have the inventor of Double Strike in the house. That guy right there invented the mechanic. And people were like, whoa, let me get a signed card and whatever, right? So I was the first and the fucking only to hype him up, right? And then I helped him get into the MTG fucking summit. And then he parlayed that himself into getting into the face-to-face event, right? Kudos to him. And legitimately, he puts in like so much effort, bro. You don't even understand. He 3D printed little trophies to give people who beat him with Double Strike. He printed out a bunch of different tokens to give to each people. Like not to gift to, like he gave everybody who played him a token, so nobody left empty-handed. And they had different tiers of things that he was giving away based on different vibes or whatever. And he even picked up a calendar to give away. Derek, yeah, of course, yeah, I didn't blend too well to you, right? And yeah, I mean, who knows, right? Maybe I'm joking myself. Magic players are like not, without an open invitation, a lot of them can hang back. So maybe there were a bunch more people and I'm over here like, nobody knows who I am. And everyone's like, he's right over there, bro. He's literally just sitting at that table doing nothing. So, where's my official signed bag of chips? I got something from the event. I got something from Vincent. I have a bag of regular potato chips signed by Vincent, who is now a celebrity because of his encounter with Double Strike Daddy. This is great. I love this. This is amazing. Remember, understand, Double Strike Daddy, a man with very little ego on display. Eager to make people's experience a good time. He's there to help people have a good time. He is not there to self-aggrandize, right? So he actively wants, I want you to understand, he actively wants Vincent to have a good time. Just later says, if I see anyone at fan meetup, I'll sign your chips, your pretzels, or your nuts. I want you to sign bags of rice so that when I'm in the bunker 50 years from now, I can suckle on your signature and go, part of Desolator's DNA is in me and it will help me survive in these trying times. I am Fallout, but not Fallout 76. Doomblade says, ever get a card that flaps in the fucking wind? Bro. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I've never put them to flap in the wind, so I don't know if it would. Dominic, you wish I would come to your store in Pennsylvania. Who knows? One day, maybe the historic Double Strike tour will hit your town, bro. Anything's possible. Wait until we get to end all of this, because there's some surprising developments. Some surprising developments. So basically, here's a really cool thing that they do at the event. They give people a quest card. The quests are real simple. Follow our social media. Visit the shop. You know what I mean? Things they want you to do anyways. And they'll just sign off. But then the other ones are like, take a picture with a cosplayer. And there was I never took a picture with her, did I? This is how bad I am at things. So there was a cosplayer there. So people were taking pictures. She was dressed up as Avacyn. She had gigantic, mega epic wings. And she literally had contacts that made her eyes look white. Like there was a bunch of effort put into it. And it's like right on. So that was cool. So you take your picture with her. And then they also had... battle a content creator, challenge a content creator, right? And so I had people ask me, hey, can I? And I'm like, no, I'm not part of the event. It's got to be an official person, and I would direct them to play Double Strike Daddy, because you know, here play against Double Strike Daddy. So this guy Vincent, the guy who gave me these chips, he only needed a content creator's signature, right? That's all he needs to be done. So he comes to Double Strike Daddy and he says, hey, I want to play you, but we're playing like a game of Cube or whatever. And he's saying to him like, yeah, we can totally play. Well, just give me a second. And then Vincent goes, okay, I have an event that's starting in 5 minutes. And Double Strike goes, no problem. No problem, buddy. This won't take any time at all. So they sit down and play. And it's like 15 minutes later, and that's like 15 minutes later, bare minimum, before he kills Vincent. And I just went like, I was like, bro, I'm like, what? Like, why did you take so long to kill him? And he's like, well, he was at 1, and I had a Ghost Council of Horzhova, and I figured like I didn't want to cheese him and just play that. And I'm like, he wanted to fucking go and play in his event. You killing him would have been a mercy, bro. And he's just like, what? And I'm like, he wanted to go and play an event. And then Double Strike goes, no, he didn't. I'm like, yes, he did. And Double Strike goes, he didn't tell me. And I'm like, he fucking directly told you. He literally told you, and you overrode his protestations to tell him it wouldn't be a fucking problem. And then you dragged the game out like he was there to see you. You have to understand what certain people are there for. Some people just want to get the thing on their box so they can cash in their reward. They're not there to like sit there and take forever with you. This guy wanted to be gone, and you dragged it out for turns. And then what I loved at the end too is instead of actually signing his initials, Double Strike just takes and goes to checkmark in the box. Anybody could do a checkmarks. Vincent could have checkmarked it himself. They could have easily, when checkmark doesn't count as nothing. A checkmark doesn't count as nothing. And I just watched the whole thing, and I'm like, you fucked this guy. He went out of his way to tell you at limited time. You told him it to be fine. Then you intentionally dragged the game out because you didn't even know what the fuck was going on, right? Like, I'm watching, and I just like, what are you doing? What are you doing? So yeah, I saw Vincent the next day, and he gave me this bag of chips and signed it. I made a joke about the chips being mine at first, and then he just gave them to me. But yeah, I have a signed bag of chips from Vincent. He just checkmarked it at the end. And I said, bro, you got to learn who some people are going to be there and they want to talk to you. Some people are going to be there and they want to play and they just want to blast all over your chest for half an hour. They're going to take half an hour turns. And some people don't give a shit about you. You are literally just boom, boom, like click the bot, like there you go. Write your name in, you're done. They wouldn't care if you're like, you need to challenge a creator. Here's the initials. Thanks. And I was like, also, when someone challenges a creator, as soon as they challenge you, they've met the conditions of challenging you. So sign off their card. If they have to leave in the middle of the game, they need to leave. They don't need to wait for you to sign off on it. Prioritize the person that you say you're here to prioritize. Doomblade says, because I have this Polyraptor, I'm so mad. Well, bro, your anger is justified. You spend the money on these packs. Wizard spends less and less money, it seems like, on like quality control and materials, and they want to keep pushing the prices up. It's the most absurd position ever, where a booster pack costs them less than a quarter to make, and they want you to pay $5, $10, $15, $20, $25 a booster pack, or $1,000 when they're really high. And yeah, they don't want to be damned about the card quality, because the 30th anniversary, the $1,000 stuff, guess what? Piss poor quality too. I mean, this is worse, but whatever. Dominic says, come on, this is the longest I've been Lord of the Board. Pretty sad you guys are letting me raid. Dominic's literally disappointed. What's going on? Somebody kick me off of here. So yeah, the the stuff that he was doing. Like, he had a piece of paper. He had a piece of paper on the fucking table. And I read it, and I was like, the fuck is this? It's like a piece of paper explaining to him, who am I? I'm the guy who invented double strike, in this fucking big, fat, goddamn paragraph. And then underneath, why am I doing it now? Well, he's a guy who lived in an empty nest and blah, blah, blah. What the fuck is this? This is something an 80-year-old man tells somebody at the fucking cashier because no one will talk to him. Nobody's going to want to talk to you, lonely cat lady, with your weird, please let me explain away my existence to you. I'm important enough to come to an event and ask for a table and have a sign, but not important enough to fucking exist. Fuck off. Pick a goddamn fucking lane. Either you matter or you fucking don't. I ain't playing this Nancy bullshit in the fucking middle. Fuck you. So that's what I said to him. I'm like, you don't have to justify anything to these people. Got questions? Here's the answer. Go fuck yourself. That's the answer. Why am I doing it? 'Cause I want to. Eat my fucking dick. You don't have to justify yourself to nobody. So I read that piece of paper and I was like, this is bullshit. You don't got I chewed him out over it. I was like, no, man. No. I'm not having my fucking friend denigrate himself and lower himself in front of these fucking people. Perhaps I will be considerable of worth your time. You know, if you know that, well, my kids are gone and I need something to do so that I don't put a belt and, get up on the chair. So maybe if out of pity you were to look at my social medias, I might have a reason to live one. I'm sorry I exist. Like, it triggers me, bro. It fucking triggers me. Because it's like, bro, you fucking invented double strike. What the fuck is this bullshit? What is this? What is this pussy nonsense? Has anybody in this fucking room contributed anything to Magic that you know of the random people that you're worried about making a fucking impression on? You're worried about making a random impression? Whatever, man. So yeah, it set me off. Kenzie says only buy Magic packs made in the 90s. Oh, that's pretty restrictive. That's pretty restrictive. Is Dominic in the box of glory? He's in there, yeah. Yeah, he's in there. He's already made it in, Ryan. Feel free to kick him in the dick. That's what he wants. He wants somebody to. So yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those things where it's like, if you see somebody you know and you're like, fuck off, man. Don't act like that, because like that's like this self-effacing bullshit. There's a certain level of humbleness that I'll accept as normal, and then I'm not gonna let my fucking friend abase himself in front of the fucking masses when that's not how this fucking works. They're lucky they get to meet him. He's a good dude, right? Not the fucking t'other way around. He doesn't need to suck their fucking dicks. Please follow me. I'll peanut butter your nuts. Right? That ain't how it works. In fact, there was somebody who was, his attitude, talking to fucking, the way he was talking to Double Strike Daddy, in my head, I'm like, you don't talk to my guy like that. You don't talk to my boy like that. But he's his own man. I'm at the table, so I let that guy do what he did. And then we just made fun of him later. We made a lot of fun of him later. So, Jess, you can't remind me of the Stumping Hatcher on my birthday because I'll be gone for my birthday. We're going to stream tonight and tomorrow, and then I'm gone again. Birthday weekend. Well, yeah, birthday weekend action. I'm going to be checking out some goodness heading off to Toronto. So it's a busy little bit of time. It's fun. It's nice, actually. I'm excited. Looking forward to it. So basically just like I may or may not put out a video tomorrow depending on how things go, because I'm just kind of like resting up from the convention and getting ready to head out and hoping to record stuff for another blog on this trip. So yeah, anyways, so the convention, I loved that he wasted that guy's time so much. It was funny. So the bathrooms, man, I think the one bathroom that I went to will be the most memorable bathroom for my entire life. I don't think there will be any other bathroom. Well, you know what? Never mind. There was that bathroom in New Jersey in the bus station at like 3 a.m, where the homeless guys took shifts drying their ball sacks with the hand dryers. That was, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to give this second place. Never mind. As soon as I said it, my brain went, really? Here, let's dredge up our memories. Remember this? Remember this? Remember trying to protect your family in the back of the McDonald's while the crazies roamed and you were like, whoa, the States is nuts here. Yeah. New Jersey bus station, 3 a.m. Pretty freaky place. So, this is the second most memorable bathroom experience. And for mostly pleasant reasons, surprisingly. Think about that. Convention bathrooms, I'm going to say the craziest thing you've ever heard, but I fucking loved the smell of the convention bathroom, but just one of them. One of them was a nightmare, and one of them was this like divine heaven. It's insane. It literally is like the complete fucking opposites. And it's because of the perfect confluence of events, both laziness and perception, essentially. And by that I mean, this convention had like 3 bathrooms. One bathroom was located in the main hall, giant sign at the back. I have no clue what it was like because I never went there. I knew it was probably a nightmare, but either way I just went, I'm not going to go there. I never even checked it out. Maybe, you know what, maybe someone will come to me later and be like, you should have used it, it was all right. But turns out things worked out just fine. Ryan says, Lord of the Board to Dominic, is your Amazon wish list current for the Christmas wish list? Hey, I thought New Jersey was just between us. Ryan, if you were there at that bus stop, get out of here now. No, I thought we were friends, but no. And no, you're taking the Lord of the Board from Dominic, all right? You're taking it from him. That's what he wants. If he wants it, he might even be just trying to instigate because he wants to fight for the board. You never know with him, man. But the Amazon wish list, I do need to update it. It's mostly up to date, but it's been a while since I looked at it, so I should give it a look, buddy. Double Strike, you went and checked it out, and it wasn't all right. Okay. Middlemaster, what the hell's the point? It would just be dark inside, bro. It would just be dark. Dominic says, I don't deserve to be Lord of the Board. Doomblade says, the moment my hand flicked for the paper to flap had me crying my eyes out. Bro, when you get an amazing card that you want and it's poor quality, that does so much damage to your enjoyment of the game that it's absurd that Wizards doesn't take it more seriously. Honestly, it's wild. It's wild. So, in the convention, if you walk out the doors, right, to the right, there is one bathroom. This bathroom, within an hour of being there, was already fucking Armageddon. Like, when I first went into it, it was mostly okay. Just a bit of piss on the floor. The second time I went in there, like an hour in or whatever it was already like Merc Jankwater Skankville. Like, it was like, this place stinks and it looks disgusting. So I started to cast about for like another bathroom. Turns out that if you go right, there's a short distance, there's a bathroom and a sign where you can see it. Off to the left, there's also a bathroom. But the bathroom sign is obscured by a wall that juts out beside it. So what you actually see is just what looks like a janitor door or whatever. And you go up to that bathroom, right? And you go into that one, and these bathrooms are weird. Like, you don't use the handle. You just push the door open, and then there's a button to lock it. So you press this button, it locks the door, and it lights up this green box. Now, this bathroom off to the far left had a messed up ceiling. There was a hole in the ceiling, and it must have led to the fucking kitchen because that bathroom smelled like fresh, hot pepperoni pizza. I thought I had a stroke. I walked in and I'm like, oh my God. Oh, this is amazing. I'm like, is there something? Am I having a stroke? What happened? And I'm like, wait, there's a hole in the ceiling. I'm listening. I'm like, I can hear people. I'm like, it's the kitchen. It's the kitchen. And like, every time I went there for the rest of the day, it's always smelled like fresh pizza. And almost nobody knew about the bathroom. So there was like no mess. Everybody who used that bathroom kept it clean. And it smelled like fucking fresh pizza. And I was like, is this is at a convention? I'm like, the fucking universe loves me. The luck gods smiled down on me. Joe says that the kitchen smelled like the bathroom. Bro, I didn't even think about that. You're right though. If the pizza joy is making its way in there, then anybody who's putting a demon in the toilet is sending that essence to the kitchen. Yo, are these ingredients off? Reverence, bro. No, I got news for you. I don't take dumps at conventions. My fucking asshole cinches so tight at conventions. You talking about me farting in the bathroom? I didn't even do that the whole time I was there, right? My body's like these places. This is like as soon as you walk in here. No. Taking a dumps for home, hotel rooms. It's not for conventions. Like, I don't know how thick of a wad of toilet paper you're gonna need on the seat to protect yourself from that. But no, man, no. I just have apparently the bladder of a small child and had a whole bunch of caffeine. So I just kept going to take leaks in the glorious. And every time I walked in, I had the dual feeling of, it can't last. It can't last. And you don't want to walk into a bathroom and take a deep breath to figure out, does it still smell good in here? That is not the life you want to live. So every time you open the door, you're like, is it going to be? And then you just slowly like, okay, it's pizza. Yeah, fucking right, it's pizza. It's pizza. Cosmic Dragon says, greetings, fellow owners of not so fine kind of decent cardboard rectangles. Bro, your super chat is on point considering how, your super chat is bang on point considering how Doomblade's feeling today, dude. So yeah, like somehow beyond all, I guess it was just to try and like lure me into the convention life. Because you have to understand, I went to the exact same event a year ago. A same time, Guy Incognito. Hung out with Matt Caster, said what's up to 8th place Dave. Didn't really talk to him that much, though, the first time around. Talked to him more this time around, which was nice, actually. That was good. And anyways, you know, it was funny to me to see Matt Caster and 8th place Dave with their tables and go, at the time I came in, I'm like, my YouTube channel's like bigger than both yours put together. That's fun. I could have one of these tables too if I want. But like Matt Caster told me it was this whole setup where you need to like put in proposals and stuff. And I just went, nah, I don't want to do that. Hold on, I gotta move this here. Whoa, this tea is heating me up and I got thick socks on. Gotta ditch these. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right. So yeah, that bathroom was amazing. And it also led to an absolutely insane situation where I walked into that bathroom and there was just a dude in there, right? He didn't lock the door. So I walk in there and there's just a dude in there and he whips his head around looking at me. I'm like, oh, sorry. And I just stepped out. Now, thankfully, the way the bathroom was set up, I didn't have to see anybody's dick. Because that's happened to me before. I've gone into like bathrooms at house parties and shit where there's a side door and it's like, fuck, there's somebody in here, son of a bitch. Right? So I've been there before. I was glad I didn't have to see this little weirdo's dong. And like he came into the bathroom and I said to him, there's a lock inside so you can lock the door for next time. And he looked at me terrified. He looked at me terrified. Like I worked there or something and was going to fire him and he wasn't allowed to be in there. And he looked at me and he said, I go pee-pee there. He goes, I go pee-pee here. And I was just like, oh, I have nothing. Like, I don't even know where to go from here. I'm just going to give him a thumbs up. Like, cool, man. I was just trying to save you from people walking into the fucking bathroom. Also, just so you guys know, he was standing in the fucking pitch dark. The lights only fucking turn on when you open the door, and they only stay on when you press the locked door button. So he went into that bathroom, walked up to the fucking toilet, and then stood in the fucking pitch black. And then I open the door. The light comes on like he's a fucking roach. And he just turns around and looks at me. And I try and tell him how to not have this happen. And he goes, I pee-pee here. And then I go into the bathroom and I come back out. And the guy who goes, I pee-pee here, was driving the fucking floor cleaning machine. He was driving it around cleaning the floor. And I'm like, you work here, but you don't know about the lock for the door, and you seemed like you thought I was getting you in trouble for being in that bathroom. Does not compute. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna leave. I'm just gonna leave. Whatever. Fuck it. You don't need to understand it. Life doesn't make sense. Who cares? Whatever. Just understand from now on, anytime you open the door, you might find somebody in the dark. So I went to that bathroom again, and over time, some people figured it out. So sometimes there was a line of maybe 1 or 2 people. So there was a guy standing there. He goes into the bathroom. He didn't hit the lock door button. So he's standing there. Lights go out on him. He comes out of the bathroom, and I go, yo, just so you know, there's a button inside you can use to lock the door when you go in. And he goes, oh, I thought it was a bathroom for multiple people. And I was like, no, there's just the one toilet, so you can lock the door. And he said, oh, I thought it was a bathroom for multiple people. And I was like, same phrase, same intonation, all of it. And I was just like, you got an extra go-to 10 line or something? Like, what is this? Like, am I taking fucking crazy pills? Yeah, no. See, here's how it works. You know how you told me that you thought it was for a bunch of people or whatever? And then I said to you, no, it's for singular use. I can't have said that without properly processing the previous fucking thing you said. And when you say the same fucking thing to me, I'm like, is this Invasion of the Body Snatchers? Why the fuck are you just parroting this back at me? What? Well, anyways, enjoy your life. Sora even tried to help you. Have fun pissing on your feet in the dark, genius. Like, what? Milmaster says, I leave the door unlocked. My business shy. I need you to scare it out of me. IPP here. Oh, my Lord. Like that. What? Bro, what? Right? So, that was ridiculous. Double Strike says, I used the same bathroom on multiple occasions. Totally uneventful. Only the story has this happen. Of course it only happens to me. Of course the most baffling confluence of events. What was that all about? Dude, you're on a machine cleaning the floor. You have to work here. Why are you worried about me? You can't be worried about, I don't understand. I'm not getting you in trouble for using the bathroom where you work in the dark. I just don't want to walk in on you. Why? What did I do? You know what I mean? Like, so, my friends, you may remember that I've reported on a format called Dan Dan. Remember? Dan Dan is a format that took a really old garbage card and made it worth money because it's like people using it in the Dan Dan format. And I remember reporting on the Dan Dan format and going, oh, it's cool that like people are using Dan Dans from the olden day and made this own little side format. Well, I'm here to tell you, fuck Dan Dan. Dan Dan is dog shit. What's up, Florida? How you doing, buddy? So, here's what happens. Double Strike ends up playing against somebody who is henceforth known as the Dan Dan Man. So, if you guys don't know what Dan Dan is, imagine like the worst format you can think of, and then make it like 10 times shittier. Imagine a format where you could only play blue, right? Imagine a format where you can only play blue, you can only play with 4/1 creatures, and on top of that, you're going to play with a bunch of insufferable instants as well, right? Like, it's the most circle jerkish garbage. I was curious about Dan Dan until I saw it in act. Actually, before I even saw it in action, the Dan Dan Man already like set me against it because the ad, like, okay. My boy Double Strike invented Double Strike and has been playing Magic with me for like 30 years. This Dan Dan Man, he don't have our experience. He don't have our fucking chops, right? So he comes in with this Dan Dan deck, and he's like a Dan Dan hipster. Like he is full of he is so full of himself that I'm surprised there weren't fucking 2 of them, right? So up his own ass, it was insane. So he begins to expound upon the virtues of Dan Dan and explain like every card in it and what they do to fucking double strike. And it's like, and in Dan Dan, we played a 5 life because you only use Dan Dans. And to him, Dan Dan is like, oh, check it out. It's this cool hipster thing from like the Arabian Nights day. Woohoo! I'm playing with a 4/1 that costs 2 that does island home and can only attack if you have islands. Whoa, aren't I zany? Listen, dude, I've been playing since the beginning. That's a dog shit card, and you've made a dog shit format with it. So, congratulations. You're stroking yourself off over a pile of puke, bro. You vomited on the ground, and then when I did that, oh, fuck yeah, I'm amazing. Like, Dan Dan is dreadful. It's like the cube they would make you play in hell. Just shitty little blue interaction. I bounce your Dan Dan. Or the really tricky tech, I mind bend your Dan Dan. I change it so that it dies if you have a land type other than an island sound. It's insane, mind-blowing tech. It's all just bounce Dan Dan, put Dan Dan on top of the deck, attack with Dan Dan. It is so stupid. It's like baby's first blue circle jerk, where if you want to feel like, I want to feel like I'm intellectually superior, I've mastered this worthless format. It's the same kind of jerking yourself off that crypto bros do. Like, it grated on my nerves so much watching this fucking kid condescend to double strike, right? And it's funny because I made jokes to double strike. I wasn't even joking to Dan Dan Man because he immediately set my dislike meter off. So I wasn't even talking to him. I was just talking to Dan Dan Man. No, sorry, not talking to him. I was talking to double strike. And then he's responding to my, but whatever. It's like, I wasn't even talking to you. But I'm not going to say that because I'm just here to chill with double strike, who has a lot more patience than me. Because if you were fucking condescending to me, like you're condescending to him, I would be tearing you a new asshole with words right now. Like, holy fucking shit, bro. I get that you think that you're better than me, but thinking that you're better than me because you have this Dan Dan pile is fucking pathetic. Like, for real, this guy was a massive fucking dickhead. And at one point, he goes to mind bend, like fucking double strikes Dan Dan, right? Which is, like I said, you just change the land type and the creature dies. And so he goes to mind bend it, and then double strikes, like, okay, just put it in the graveyard. And the guy's like, because he had explained all the other cards in the deck, but he didn't explain mind bend because it was a secret trick that he was waiting to blow. Wow, check it out. I'm actually playing this card. But how does an instant that change land word kill fish thing? Explain it to me, smart Dan Dan man. I'm not smart enough to understand. Like, that was the aura. He has 10 different cards in the pile. It's only fucking blue, but you can't possibly understand the format's genius or his genius for being smart enough to play it. Like, it was fucking cloying. I literally made fun of this guy for a fucking hour after the event. I made an entire fucking song about him, the Dan Dan Man. Who can pull his deck out? Be a giant prick. Who can make you want to take your eye out with a stick? The Dan Dan Man. Oh, the Dan Dan Man can. The Dan Dan Man can, and he does it with a smile while he condescends to you. Like, for real. For real. This guy was so obnoxious that I fucking wrote a song about him, and we were all singing it. Because the guy, he was so full of himself, it was insane. It was insane, and the format's garbage. You're full of yourself over a garbage format. What is this? What is this? Dominic says, I can't support a channel that's anti-Dan Dan. My entire store's financial strategy is based on Island Home. We're a #1 store for shitty blue sea creatures from 1999 and earlier. My dad's a Dan Dan. Having a fucking kid condescend to us over the fact that he plays a shitty old Arabian Nights card, it's like, I'm too old to be impressed by this. This is fucking stupid. And you caring so much and like just the fucking attitude of it, the arrogance, it was fucking amazing. Like, just the unfounded fucking confidence. It was crazy. I was like, bro, you're so lucky it's not me playing you, because I would fucking deflate your ego so fast. Because I can't handle it, man. I'm not going to sit here and have some fucking dickhead condescend to me over the fact that he plays a hipster fish stack. Like, I just want to make sure that I understand. You think it's amazing that you mind bend a Dan Dan. Okay. Yeah, I'm impressed. You're a fucking cool guy. So dumb. Double Strike says it was stuck in my head all night. Hell yeah. Double Strike says, I thought his head would burst when he realized I didn't need to explain how the Dan died. Yeah, when he didn't have to explain mind bend, he's like, there was like a vessel, blood vessel throbbing in his head. Change the name on the board. Hey, thanks, Eric. Dominic, you want your name on the board too, huh, buddy? That's what you get. You said you can't support my channel, so why should I even write your name on there? You're not supporting me, right? I'll call you fucking Dominic Dan. How about that? Look at that. Fucking shit. The shit hates your name so much. Stream hates your name so much, it's blurry. Take that. It doesn't want your stupid, worthless, ugly name. Oh, they take that, Dominic Dan. So yeah, man, I don't know. Like, the thing is, the Dan man could be a perfectly reasonable person in every other regard, but talk about terrible first impressions. Like, he thought he was amazing, and he thought it was incredible that he was introducing Dan to the inventor of Double Strike, and that he beat the inventor of Double Strike. And I was like, why'd you take it so long to let him win? And he's like, I had to make it feel like it was something to him. Like, it was totally, like, that's what, it's totally, I would have been like, oh, we're playing so you can get your creator thing. And I would have just let him win. Or I just would have been like, oh, I fold, man. You know what, bro? Actually, you know what I told fucking Double Strike I actually would have done? When I find somebody that up their own ass, they're absolutely willing to believe that they're way smarter than you. So I'm like, I would have just played like a moron. So when he goes, because here's the thing, Dan does 4 damage. You start at 20 normally. So for Dan, it's just 5 hits of the Dan. So he's like, we played a 5 life. So he would say that, right? It's the 5 life. And then I'd be like, no, Magic's to 20. And he'd be like, no, it's 5. And I'd be like, no, Magic's to 20. He's like, no, it's 5 because Dan's 4, like, it goes into it. And it's like, oh, okay, I get it. And then I'd put out a Dan and attack him. He'd be like, I'd take 1. I'd be like, Dan is 4 power. The Dan is 4 power. You're at 1. And he'd be like, no, I take 1. I'm like, that's not how it works. You can't do that. You took 4 damage. You're at 5. You're at 1. And they'd be like, no, don't you remember? I told you each Dan counts as 1 point. I'd be like, oh, okay, I get it, but it's confusing. Can we do this at 20 life? And they'd be like, okay, fine, we'll do it at 20 life, even though it's not technically how we do it. And then the first time he hit me with a Dan, I'd be like, okay, I take 1. And he'd be like, no, you take 4. I'd be like, you told me you take 1 when the Dan hits me. You told me you take 1. And then when he does the mind bend thing, I'm like, you can't do that. You can't do that. He'd be like, I'll change this. I'm like, you can't. You can't do that. It doesn't work that way. That's an instant. You can't play instants on creatures. So, sorry, can't do that. And then when I finally let him convince me, then I'd get the mind bend, and I'd play it on one of his lands, and I'd turn one of his islands into a mountain. I'd be like, your Dan's dead. They'd be like, no, you have to. You played mind bend to kill my Dan that way. Your island is a mountain, and your Dan's dead. And they'd be like, no, it has island home, and I have these other islands. No, you mind bend. And I would just like, fuck it. If you think I'm an idiot, it's going to be so easy. So I would just constantly ruin it for him. How are you going to have fun jerking off about your hipster bullshit format when your opponent's too stupid to understand how brilliant you are? You know what I mean? You need the particular audience who can appreciate how skillfully you play it and how you shorten the names of accumulated knowledge down to, I'll AK? Yeah, you should AK. You should AFK from Magic, son. Because this is brutal. I'm just trying to stop my spine from leaping out of my body with the level of fucking cringe this is. Like, for real. You have somebody who's invented Double Strike, who's super fucking humble, and you have somebody who's done nothing but play a stupid hipster Dan format who thinks he's better than him. And I'm just watching, this is fucking wild. This is fucking wild, right? Like, crazy. Absolutely fucking crazy. So yeah, man, it was like, I was like, bro, I hate Dan now. So I just, like, when people came up to play him afterwards, I was like, yo, bro, you play Dan? What do you think of Dan? I'm like, that's the right answer. Dan sucks. I'm like, did you try Dan? Yeah. What do you think of it? Meh. You know? The thing is, the cube's a million times better than Dan could ever be. And if you've played the cube and then you play Dan, you're like, this is the worst. This is like, if you think Commander's not Magic the Gathering, because some people think that, like, Dan is just, I don't know. I don't even know, man. I don't even know. Millmaster says that Dan is a mythical sea creature that appears in the tale Abdullah the Fisherman, where the merman tells the fisherman that Dan is the largest fish in the sea and is the enemy of the merman. Oh, cool. Well, like, fuck, man. All right, now, you know what? I wish I had known that so I could say, yo, bro, yeah, you don't like mermen, huh? You're a dick. I like mermen. You don't like mermen's abs, you fucking hater, right? So yeah, Double Strike Daddy remained very calm. He kept his composure, even though that guy was being rude. You know, I'll never give any identifying, like, I'll never let you know who these people are, right? Because that wouldn't be. I'll just say stuff in a generalized way. But that guy was. It was ridiculous. I was like, bro, like, really? Like, the arrogance, like, it wasn't, the arrogance that he was showing to Double Strike rubbed me the wrong way. I barely even existed to the kid, which was fine by me, because good Lord, it was insane. It was insane. It's like, what are you doing, man? Like, you're playing a piece of garbage that's always been a piece of garbage. And no, it's not cool. Like, you got to understand, when you show it to us, we're not like, whoa, what's that? Oh, check it out. Like, you've just played Magic in New Year's where all the cards are awesome, but back in the day they used to suck. Check it out. I'm showing you something cool and niche. No, bro. It's like you went into my trash and pulled out a Dorito wrapper and put it on your fucking hand and went, check out my glove, bro. You like Reet, huh? That's literal garbage. No, son, this is Reet. Let me explain to you the intricacies of Reet, okay? So what we do is we smear the fucking Reet dust right under our noses, okay? Like, God. What up, Mustard? Oh, now that you're here, let's resolve the mystery, bro. Let's not build a mystery like Sarah McLachlan. Let's resolve a mystery. Let's see if that notice was a lie to you, buddy. Let's see if this is the advent of a new age. Yo, the dispensary apparently has an advent calendar. How wild is that? Just saw that. That's pretty nutty. VT, you like the nickel bullets? Oh, all signs pointing to this is the missing thing. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Oh. Yeah. Shortbread. Oh. Shortbread advent calendar. Yeah. That's dope, man. That's dope. That's going to be fun. I didn't even know this existed as a thing before you told me. Thanks, buddy. I'm glad it didn't get lost. Derek, you were proud to have played with Double Strike after that and get to chat with me. Well, thanks, buddy. You were totally chill. In fact, everybody was pretty chill. The only the Dan guy rubbed me the wrong way. The only other thing that you deal with there is people who really want to talk to you for a long period of time, and that's fine. That's no big deal at all, right? That's just normal, especially when, first of all, you're going to be starved for social interaction, and interacting with somebody as awesome as me is pretty irresistible. So yeah, but I mean, even then, barely ran into much of that. You know, people have events and other stuff they got to get to, so they'll away to those. But yeah, there was a few times where I'm like, I've talked to you quite a bit. I don't have much left to say at this moment. Oh, Jay, I wish, bro. I wish the Dan man was named Dan. That would have been hilarious. That would have that would have been amazing. Mailmaster, make a Dan cube and trick me. It's not a draft cube. It's just a stack you play off of, right? Good Lord, I can't even imagine sitting down for a draft for somebody, like, for that long with someone that insufferable. Jess, how do you convince Wizards to make a new card mechanic? Oh, well, you know what? Here, let me tell you the shitty origin story of Double Strike Daddy, as told by himself, okay? Well, hey, first of all, do you know the card Forgotten Ancient? Oh, I'm sorry, wait, what, you don't know an obscure card from fucking decades ago that's garbage now that nobody knows? Oh, well, it's good that I told you that and distracted you from the story, right? Because that's a good way to start, right? Like, that makes sense. Instead of just fucking getting straight to the point, why don't we start by talking about a card that has literally no bearing on the fucking story? Let's add in detail that pulls away from things, right? So that's how we start with the story. Hey, do you know Forgotten Ancient? No? Oh, nobody does? Oh, well, anyhow, forget that piece of information then, because it actually doesn't matter. So Wizards was having this make a card contest, but you need to know specifically the card that was made as the end result of it, because that definitely helps you understand the story and is not a pointless side fact. So, anyways, Forgotten Ancient. So, he starts out with the Forgotten Ancient bullshit, which is so fucking dumb. And then he goes, so Wizards of the Coast was having this make a card contest, and I submitted a mechanic to them, but it was no good because the card was green. And I'm stupid, and I don't know how to make a good mechanic for green because I'm fucking dumb. So they were making like a green card, and I was like, well, I'm going to make a mechanic that's not green because I'm fucking stupid. So that's what I did. But then guess what? Even though they didn't use it for that card, later on, they just kind of used it. Isn't that cool? And then they made cards, and like they were like, yo, Double Strike might be kind of strong or something, guy. Like, that's how he tells the fucking story. Legit, that's like, what are you fucking doing? That's how he tells, that's his fucking origin story, according to fucking him. That's the shit he writes on fucking paper and shit. Get the fuck out of here with that. Get the fuck out of here with that. Slightly exaggerated in that your fucking version was more pathetic than my version, all right? How about that? So, here's the real deal. Here's how it goes, all right? Here's how it goes. Wizard of the Coast was having a make the card contest. I submitted, and this is me being Double Strike, I submitted a mechanic that is so good that even though the card they were making is green, they went, yo, we're going to use this mechanic, and they fucking redacted it. They censored it on the website so nobody would know what it was, because it was so good, they had to keep it a secret until they could finally figure out where to bring a mechanic this powerful into the game. And they were so afraid of the power level of this mechanic that I designed, and understand that it's been, 10, 15 years at least the game's been out. They've been trying to figure out how to do this the whole time. I figured it out in one elegant little fucking setup and gave it to them on a silver plate. So they hung on to it until the time was right, and they felt they were ready to handle the power of Double Strike. And then they introduced one of the most amazing mechanics to everybody else on the planet, and I'm responsible for that happening. Hey, have you heard of Forgotten Ancient? Well, there was this like make the card contest. And so like the first step of it was we had to choose like, are we doing a creature or are we doing like a sorcery? And then the next thing we had to decide was what kind of power and like, do you see the difference? Do you see the first Double Strike card was 1 red and 3 for a 2/1 Double Striker. You had to pay 4 mana for 2/1, right? That's it. So yeah. You want to know what's amazing? I yelled at him about this shit. I went, yo, fuck your bullshit fucking origin story. This is how you present it. And I'm talking like directly right after this, he gets asked to be interviewed by the people running the convention. So then he goes up there, and instead of telling the fucking Hat in Hand, I'm sorry that my mechanic wasn't good enough to begin with, but it kind of has a happy ending, he knew how to make it sound good. Because at the end of the day, people want to be excited about meeting the inventor of Double Strike. They want it to be a thing. And if you don't fucking act like it's a thing, why would they think it's a thing? Who the fuck else do you know who's put a fucking mechanic in the game, right? What have you fucking brought to the table? Bringing a fucking mechanic to the table is pretty impressive. And people, by implication, think he worked for Wizards. He didn't, but he doesn't need to tell them that up front. They can find out afterwards. If they directly ask, he can be like, and then you just go, I didn't even need to work at Wizards to make it happen. And that's how you fucking say that shit. You don't act all fucking pathetic about it, right? Right? So, I was there to give him social media training on the job training. That wasn't my original intention, but watching what he was doing, I couldn't help myself. I had to be like, bro, what are you doing? What are you doing? Stop it. Stop it. So I'm not having it. I'm not having it. That's right. Millmaster Double Strike is one of the best keyword abilities that wasn't part of Magic's original setup. It legit feels fucking awesome. Double Strike feels fantastic. Plaid, I'm his hype man. You goddamn right. I told you I went with him. I had his back. I fucking talked him up. I did all of it. I was there to chill with him, right? Like, I wasn't there to be the fucking Magic Historian. I was Hatcher hanging with my boy. Yeah, I can't avoid being the Magic Historian, but I wasn't there to be the Magic Historian. I hung out. I had a good time. I talked with fucking top 8 David, and we had a nice conversation. Actually, over the course of the weekend, when I said earlier in the stream that to go to these sort of events, that you would submit proposals. That's what Matt Caster Mage told me. And I didn't want to go through all that. And I felt like, here's how it works. If I go there, I am beholden, like, if they're paying me to go to an event or whatever, I'm beholden to stay at a fucking table and like be there like almost as a representative of them. There's a certain level of obligation that felt like it might not be very much fun. But after talking to Dave, right, who's fucking doing it, he's been doing it for a while, he told me how it was. He told me it's become more casual and laid back, right? And so we're talking about that. And because of the way the people at Face to Face treated Double Strike, I was like, you know what? I've really warmed up to the idea of this. Over the course of the weekend, like I said, I did have some melancholy because I was coming to terms with the change of my magical world. And by that I mean, me and Double Strike, we used to go to events all the time. With people like Jay, for example, right? Jay in the chat here, we all would go on road trips. But I realized when we went on this trip, it had been about 20 years since we had gone on one, right? Like, it just stopped. You never know when the last time you're going to go and do these kind of things together is. But that kind of thing fell out of my life to a degree. But like my big magic events like that, for me, were never about playing in them. They were about going and being with my people, doing trading, being part of the event, all of that kind of stuff, but not actually playing the actual event and trying to, that whole sweaty grind is unappealing to me. The higher up you get in the event, the more miserable they seem. Like, actually, me and Double Strike were talking about the tournament that actually made me decide I never wanted to try and get into higher level Magic, where we all went up to it like this big tournament, and everybody I went with had been knocked out in all these earlier rounds, and I was chewing through the fucking competition, but like, the people I was playing against were miserable. The one guy pulled out a flask and was drinking. He didn't seem like he was having fun. It was like miserable adults, and I was like, I thought this was a game we played to have fun. Like, I was like 15 at the time or whatever. And I was just like, bro, this sucks. Let's just leave. Like, let's just go. And I just let myself get beat in that tournament, dropped out and left, even though I totally could have kept going. And I never wanted, like, ever since then, I was like, that's not for me, man. That grind is just, I don't get enough gratification from like winning events to drive me through all that. It's not worth it. I don't like it. But being around people, trading, doing all that, that's cool. But trading isn't what it used to be. I don't care around big binders of traders. That's not a thing anymore. I'm not traveling with my boys anymore. Things like, I mean, I did come with Double Strike, but I had something similar happen with this that I had happen recently to me with I was playing, what was it? Grand Theft Auto Vice City. And I was seized with this incredibly sad thought of how happy I was playing it in the past and how nothing in my life would ever be that good again. And it was an overblown, unrealistic thought. But in the moment, it was quite emotional. It gripped me and I felt it as reality, and it was quite uncomfortable and I didn't like it, right? It's not reality. And hell, I've played that game since then and had like, it's just, it was an absurd mind moment. And the same kind of thing in a different way was happening for me at the event, where I realized like the old days and the old ways of Magic have all changed for me. I'm not the guy who runs the events at the store every week anymore. I'm not the guy who supplies people with singles. I'm not that hub the way I used to be, because now I'm a hub in a different way, and I've connected to different people. And so through the course of the weekend, there was a little bit of mournfulness to it, but then it got replaced with hopefulness, where I realized, I've had these epic experiences over the years, and now I have the opportunity to be part of the other side of it, theoretically. So I started to warm up just the tiniest bit to, what if I had my own table at one of these events? Because it seems like it might not be as restrictive as I think, right? So I went to talk to Dave to try and get some information about getting a fucking table to see, oh, you know, maybe I'll think about it. And literally, as I'm talking to fucking Dave, the guy in charge of the whole thing, he comes up to me because he'd been talking to Double Strike Daddy, and he's like, yo, he's like, there's something about that guy you're with. Like, I feel like I know him or something. And so he told him who I was because he had no idea it was the Magic Historian, right? And so then he comes up to me and he introduces himself to me. He's like, hey, what's going on, man? I'm like, hey, what's up, brother? Like, cool event. Thanks for treating Double Strike so nice. I really appreciate it. Like, I said that a whole bunch. I was like, I really like the way that you treated Double Strike. And he's like, man, I didn't know it was you. Like, you look familiar to me. But then I deal with so many Magic players. You all do it. I'm like, I get it, man. No worries. I was here incognito. I wasn't letting anybody know who I was anyways. So I told him, I'm like, the way that you took care of my friend really makes me think that it would be cool for me to do something like this too, right? And so I was thinking about maybe tagging along next year. And he was just like, he was on it instantly. Because I was talking about coming next November and getting a table. And he's like, we're having a big event in February. And you should totally come to it. And he started telling me these things that were going on, right? And he's like, I heard you used to run an LGS. And I'm like, no, I didn't run an LGS. There was a guy I knew who, like, he ran the LGS, but then he stopped running events, and he also didn't want to sell singles anymore. And he was like, if you don't buy the singles I have, I'm not going to open any more boxes. So it reached the point where there's no events and no singles, but I wasn't having that. So I basically dragged people into the store, got them playing events. And then when there was people playing, there's no cards. So they're like, yo, guy, what are we supposed to do? There's no cards. So then I went to the store and was like, okay, I'm going to fill the store with cards. I'll fill all the display cases, all of it. I'll be in charge of all that, all right? And then you get a cut for man, whatever. We'll figure it out kind of thing. And so that's what it turned into. And so I told him that, and he's like, so yeah, you basically ran an LGS. I didn't, because I didn't have to work with distributors and stuff. So I can't say that I full on ran an LGS, but I certainly did a bunch of aspects of running LGSs, event running, all kinds of stuff, procuring cards, all of it. But yeah, it was pretty fun that, like, the chain of events goes like this. Talking to Dave, thinking about maybe getting a table. Then I'm talking to the guy in charge of the entire con, who's like, yo, man, I'm glad you're here. Like, yo, I had no idea. And hey, you're thinking of coming out? You should definitely come out. And don't wait a year, come out in like 2 months, bro. And I was just like, well, that's a pretty warm invitation. And I was already like leaning towards it anyhow. So, I mean, I'm going to go to the next one. I'm going to go. And while I was talking to him, somebody walks by and they're like, bro, I didn't know you were here. I was just listening to you on the drive in. And my brain is like, oh, the timing of this is awesome. You've literally got the guy in charge of the place who's just like, oh, wait, we got some content creator for Magic the Gathering here. And then it's like, here's a nice demonstration of the fact that people at your event already know me and are happy I'm here. One of the guys said to me, he's like, when I was on my way here, he's like, I was thinking, maybe the historian will be there. And I was like, that is so cool. You know how happy that made me? Thinking that somebody's just like how random is that? You're just going to a Magic event and there's like, yo, maybe the Magic historian will be there. And I was like, bro, I don't know, man. That's awesome. So yeah, there's an energy and a vibe and all that I want to be a part of, you know? So me and Double Strike are going to start to go to more of those events together. Cause honestly, we were talking about it, and everything that happened with the world shutdown shrunk our worlds, and we need to get out and be more social as well anyways. Because like I said, I don't run tournaments every week like I used to. Mailmaster, what? GTA said, if they do that, someone's just going to hack it or whatever, right? So yeah, it looks like if everything works out properly, that I will be able to go to the next one in Ottawa in February. There's some things that have to be ironed out, right? It's travel costs. So there are issues. We're gonna work on the details. Jay, was there trading happening? I mean, in the most technical sense, I saw one guy trading. I wasn't really out when I went guy incognito, which means I wasn't really out intermingling a lot with the tables of players. I was only really in the surface ring, and most of the time I was just behind the table over at the Double Strike table. So I didn't see a ton of like player-on-player interaction trade stuff. I have no idea how much trading is going on, but I assume that it's just been the continuing trend of decreasing trade over time. So I would say you could bring some, but the days when you and I would travel with absurd amounts of traders it's gone. You know, it's gone. VT, I seem like a pretty normal, regular, approachable guy. I am. I'm super chill. Dominic says, I'm serious. If you get a passport, I'll pay your travel here for an event. Pittsburgh hosts a ton of big events. Well, I mean, anything is theoretically possible for me and Double Strike, depending on whatever. I guess theoretically anything's possible for me, too, if things like travel and accommodations are being covered, because I ain't no rich man, obviously. I ain't no fucking wealthy dude. The idea of going to these events is fun, but like it costing me a bunch of money turns it into a prohibitive kind of deal, right? Thanks, Window Defender. I'm glad that there's no viruses. You don't need to tell me that because I don't do a single thing on this computer that's sketchy or could get me one. That's one of the rules of this computer. I have one computer and that you are allowed to go to any website you want on. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Viruses can get on there, great. They can fight each other because there's nothing on that computer. But on this computer, nah. Insult. You set up a sign selling insults. Jay, the one going to the falls. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Double Strike to that one next month too. Towns, if I come to your Tonic, and sleep in your bed, I'm gonna take you up on that. You're gonna have to sleep on the roof though, because I know you're thinking I get to sleep in it too, but you don't. You don't. And I'm taking the sheets I sleep on with me too, because I know you're gonna try and. I'm not even gonna talk about trying to do those sheets. All right, so that shortbread wasn't the only mail that arrived today. I actually got something all the way from Malaysia. I was not expecting that. It's funny because there's like this Malaysian stamp and it clearly has like people who must be in like, I don't know, government figures or people from the past or whatever, but it just looks like a random picture of people from a textbook. I'm not going to show you because the address is everything on the front. And I don't want to show it, but I do want to say this. I don't know exactly what language this is, but do not bend in this language is Jangan Membongkok. And since it's got bong and cock in it, that made me laugh. Actually, Jay, you know what's funny? I call the other computer the beater computer because I think of it as a beater car. But then afterwards, people pointed out, it's like, you know, that also references to tug. And I'm like, fine, yep. If I was going to go to those kind of websites, I would also be doing it on that website, bro. Or I should say on that computer. Oh, wait. The stamps came off. Look. See the pictures? Like it just looks like a picture of like random people from a textbook. Okay, let's gently peel this tape. But yeah, like up until yesterday, I wasn't really considering the possibility of doing that kind of stuff. And then that opened up, and I was like, man, the idea of being on the other side of it and making people's events more fun. Because I mean, I used to run events. I'm used to making people's magical days better. Oh, what is this? We got a card. Whoa, hold on. Let me cover her jugs. All right. What? Look at this. You got tigers flying through the sky. You got this lady. What the hell, man? Oh, it's Salvador Dali. I haven't seen this one before. I've literally never seen this before. It says, "Hi, Hatcher. Greetings from Malaysia." Oh, this was sent 25th of October. Ooh, it's taking a month to get here. During one of your live streams, you mentioned you're still looking for a schematic Howling Mine. Knowing your love for the Brothers War set and Zelda, I thought you'd appreciate this. Thanks for all your content. Oh, it's Kenny! It's Kenny! It's Kenny! Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Come on, man. This tape is giving me some trouble here. Oh, there we go. Hey, that's fun. Check it out. Schematic Howling Mine with the Zelda sleeve. That is pretty slick looking. Very nice. Nice combination. Nice way to protect it and transport it. And a nice card, too. That's awesome. That's awesome. Kenny did well. I like that. This is cool, man. This is gonna look good in the fan letter box too. Dream brought on by a bee flying through a pomegranate 1 second before waking up. Pretty wild. Pretty wild. That's cool, man. That is cool. You know, I'm gonna keep the envelope with it too, man, because it's funky. Don't normally get mail from Malaysia. All right. Don't want to forget the Howling Mine inside there by accident. Let's put that over there. Perfect. Beautiful. Actually, I want to tape these stamps back on a little bit. It's fun to see stamps from different parts of the world. I used to collect stamps a long time ago. There we go. There we go. Got the stamps back on. Used to fall asleep holding a fork, and when he dropped it, he'd wake up and start painting. Oh, that's cool. Remember the deck Owling Mine? What was that? Ebony Owl Netsuke from like Saviors or something like that? Is that what it was? Man, it's so crazy. It's so crazy, like, seeing all these different Magic players, all these different ages and stuff, and just... Somehow, like, I started playing, like, a couple years ago, and it's like, I didn't even exist when this game started. It's so wild. It'll make you feel kind of old. Whew, but yeah, man. Ended up leaving me feeling pretty fucking worn out overall. So I'm going to get going. We'll stream again. We'll hang out again tomorrow. And then remember, I'm going away for my birthday. So it'll be a little bit that I'm gone for. So thanks for coming and hanging out. You guys rule. I will see you tomorrow. In the meantime, watch out for the chainsaw man.